Knew about my father. He had been the CFO at Odette's family company, the Blanchard Corporation. He was an honest man who discovered a massive fraud scheme orchestrated by her father. He became a whistleblower. In return, they destroyed his reputation, buried him in lawsuits, and drove him to take his own life. The official story was suicide due to stress. I knew it was murder by 1,000 cuts, and Odette wanted me to share his fate. Landon had sealed the promise with a kiss. For you, my love, anything, the world will watch her fall. In that moment, my fairy tale shattered, and my own plan began to form. Back in the glittering ballroom, Odette herself materialized at my side. She was the epitome of old money elegance, her smile both dazzling and predatory. She took my hand, her touch surprisingly cold. Avery, darling, I am so thrilled for you. Landon is a lucky man to have someone so devoted. Her mind screamed a different truth. You pathetic little whore, you think this ring makes you one of us. I will personally watch them tear you apart on your wedding day. I squeezed her hand back, my own smile just as sweet, just as fake. Thank you, Odette. It means so much coming from you. I let my gaze drift to Landon, who was watching us, a flicker of something unreadable in his eyes. He walked over, disentangling our hands and pulling me back to his side. Odette, good to see you. Why is she here? Landon's thought was sharp with annoyance. This is my game, my prize. She's supposed to wait in the wings. Interesting. A crack in the perfect alliance. My newfound ability was more than a curse, it was a weapon. The orchestra began to play, and Landon led me to the dance floor. Happy, my little shadow, he whispered, his lips against my hair. Just keep her happy until the wedding. His mind chanted, keep the puppy docile. I tilted my head back, meeting his eyes with a look of pure, unadulterated adoration. More than you could ever know, Landon. And for the first time in 3 years, I wasn't lying. I was truly, deeply happy, because the game had just changed, and they had no idea they were no longer the players, they were the prey. Later that night, long after the last guest had departed, I stood on the balcony of our suite, the cool New York air balm on my skin. Landon came up behind me, wrapping his arms around my waist and resting his chin on my shoulder. What are you thinking about? He asked. Our future, I said, leaning back into him. It just feels unreal. Good. Keep her in the fantasy. His mind supplied, smug and satisfied. It is real. Ave, I'm going to give you everything. He thought he was the master puppeteer, pulling my strings. He couldn't see that I had already cut them. As soon as he was asleep, I slipped out of bed. In the silent darkness of the living room, I pulled out a sleek, encrypted burner phone from its hiding place inside the lining of an old textbook. My fingers flew across the screen, dialing a number I had committed to memory 2 years ago. It was a number I had sworn to myself I would only use when the time was right. It rang twice before a deep, calm voice answered, laced with a familiar note of cynical amusement. Well, to what do I owe the pleasure? Griffin Duke, Landon Valor's greatest business rival, a self-made tech mogul who despised the old money arrogance of the Valor family. Griffin, I said, my voice steady and low. It's Avery Locke. There was a brief, surprised silence on the other end. I know who you are, he said finally, his tone shifting, becoming sharper. I assume this isn't a social call. No, I replied, looking out at the city lights. A landscape of sleeping predators and endless opportunities. I'm calling about your previous offer, the one about a partnership, to dismantle Valor Corp from the inside out, he asked, a hint of excitement in his voice. That's the one, I confirmed. I could almost hear him smile. Changed your mind about your fairy tale, princess? Let's just say I've decided to write my own ending, I said. The wedding is in 7 days. After I leave Landon standing at the altar, we can discuss the finer details of our contract. The line went silent for a heartbeat, then, a low whistle, sticks, and supply chain optimization. It was a dull field.